Okay, today I'm going to show you how to install the Pentair RACER. I'm going to install it here at this all-tile pool. For the RACER unit itself, I have the stuff that came in the parts bag. I have the wall connector, also the flow regulator, so you can check the flow, see if you have enough flow here. These are inserts for the tires. If you have a vinyl pool or a pool with a steep incline, you would stick them into the front tires and give it a little bit of a hump to help it get up there. And of course the tail here is an optional part. You'll need a separate booster pump with this particular cleaner. And it's a good idea to use some Teflon tape on the wall adapter, that way you can get it off and on easier. There it goes. Okay, make sure you have the threaded fitting in there as far as it'll go into the pool wall. Okay, now you want to turn it counterclockwise, remove it from the wall, and attach the flow gauge. You want to take the flow tester, you want to put it on here. It actually slides on and clips in. And you twist it, pull it forward to lock it in. And when you put this in this wall fitting, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to twist it in, lock it, and pull it forward. So you want to put it in here like this, twist it in. When you have it in there, pull it forward to lock it. It's locked in place. We're going to turn on the pump, and we're going to turn on the booster pump also. Okay, so you want to use a screwdriver like this, and you can adjust the flow. There's actually a dial on top. I'll pull it out and show you. And you can see right here the white flow line is actually directly in the minimum and maximum already, so it's actually at the right location. Hard to see with the water going, but I'll pull it out so you can take a look at it. Turn it and pull it out forward. So basically you have this dial here. This is how you would change the flow. You would turn it to strengthen it and to weaken the flow. One here was showing the white line was right in the middle of maximum minimum, so this flow is perfect in this particular pool. So let's unhook this thing. Should slide right off. Then you want to take the feed hose that hooks onto here, so it slides over the clip there, turn it, pull it forward to lock it in. I'm going to reinsert this, same thing, turn it, pull it forward to lock it in. You'll need a measuring tape, a Sharpie, and a razor or a sharp pair of scissors to adjust the hose. Okay, now we're going to take a pool pole, and we're going to stick it into the deepest end of the pool, which is usually by the main drain. We're going to measure the depth of the pool, and then we're going to cut the lead hose to match the depth of the pool. I went ahead and marked the pole there, so I'm going to go ahead and measure along here. So this pool is 8 feet deep. The lead hose is marked with a 1, section 1. It's a little lighter color. If you look at the hoses, you'll see that it's a little lighter color than the other two hoses. So we're going to adjust the lead hose. It's 10 feet, so we're going to cut 2 feet off of it since the pool is 8 feet deep. I'll move the float back, measure by the nut, and mark it here. I'm going to cut this section off the hose. Take the mender nut, I'm going to loosen it. I'm going to pull the hose off, the swivel. I'll take my razor blade, and you want to cut as straight as possible. You want to cut as straight as you can. You don't want any jagged edges. You reattach the hose to the swivel here. You want to make sure that the hose goes over that barb there. It's all the way snug on the swivel. Then you'll take the mender nut, make sure it's tight over that hose area right there. You don't want that to be loose at all, because the hose could come off while the cleaner is operating, so make sure the nut is tight and the hose is completely over the swivel. So I have the hose here at the furthest point sticking out of the pool. So it should stick out about 6 inches only from the farthest point. I'm going to go ahead and measure here and see how long it is from this point. So there's 6 feet of extra hose, so we're going to cut 3 feet from the other 2 remaining sections of the hose. feet from section 2 and section 3. I'm going to mark here from section 2, roughly 3 feet. So right here, get the 3 feet mark. Mark that. I'll take 3 feet from section 3. I want to cut equal sections from the next 2 sections of the hose. 3 feet here. I'll take those 2 out. So for the RACER to work properly and get full coverage of the pool, any excess hose sticking out after you measure the furthest point needs to be cut and removed from the feed hose. You want to make a straight as possible cut right through. So I have that section cut. I'm going to discard that 3 feet piece. I'm going to jam this back in here. And I'm going to tighten up the mender nut. Remove the nut from section 3. Pull the hose out. Slide the float back. I'll even them out before I put the cleaner in there. I'm going to cut the section right here. I'll reattach it and reattach the nut like I did with section 2. So I took a 2-foot section off of the lead hose because the pool's 8 feet deep, and 2 3 feet sections off of hose number 2 and 3. Two 3-foot sections of section 2 and 3, and 2 feet off the lead hose. The debris bag simply clips right on the front of the RACER like that. We'll take this hose here. You can see that it has the clips. You'll simply just put it on here like this. Push it down over the clips that's on there. We'll take this here. Tie the bag onto the hose like that. This is ready to go in the pool. Decide to use the sweep hose on the RACER, simply slide it over and twist it onto the slot right here in the back of the RACER. You want to turn it clockwise and that'll open up the sweep hose. If you decide you don't want to use the sweep hose on the RACER, simply turn it counterclockwise and slide it right off. Now I'll put the RACER in the pool and we'll check the RPMs to make sure that it's running at the correct RPMs here. So after you made all the adjustments on the feed hose, you also want to make sure that the floats are evenly spaced as the RACER is in the pool. So I'm going to check the RPMs on the RACER. I put some red duct tape on the wheel and I have a mark here. So I'm going to time it as it goes around for 1 minute. So you want to hold the RACER and you're going to count as that goes around, and you're going to see how many revolutions per minute the wheel goes. That way you can gauge if you have the right amount of suction. You want to do it when it's not reversing. You see it reversing right now. So after it finishes that, I'm going to go ahead and count again. Should reverse for about 15 seconds. And I'm going to count the revolutions starting right now for 1 minute, if we have enough RPMs here. And there's 2 different settings again, with the tail and without. Okay, so if you have the sweep hose attached to it, it should be 31 to 33 RPM. If you have a large pool like this, you may need an extra feed hose for the RACER. In that case, you can order it, and then you would adjust the length of the hose from the 3 sections now versus the 2 sections. And here's the RACER installed in a smaller pool, much smaller than that pool, so we're going to clean this one really rapidly compared to that larger pool. See, the RACER maneuvers really well in here. As long as you adjust the hose correctly, the RACER will have no problem operating in your pool. So that's the installation of the Kreepy Krauly RACER by Pentair. In certain vinyl pools, the cleaner may get stuck right where the transitional slope for the deep and shallow end meet. In that case, you want to insert the wedges. Inside the bag where you had the owner's manual, you'll see these 2 rubber tabs. These grooves here help lock this in place, so you want to actually put them both in the same exact area of the RACER itself. I'm going to put this one right here. We slide it right in there, and I'm going to push it down here and have this go into the grooves here. Okay, so turn the RACER over. Here's the one with the hump right there. I'm going to go ahead and put this one in this side here, in the same location as the other one. And I'll slide it the rest of the way in. On this side of the RACER, and the other one on the other side.